Hey everyone, Kate Bora and Fiona Pearman joining you for this week's Facebook Live. Welcome to February, and our theme for February is all about chapter 6 of the Core Confidence book, Be Focused and Present. And I think, Fee, this is a really interesting one. It's something mindfulness, focus, multitasking, all those sorts of words are bandied around. Productivity, one of my personal favorites and obsessions. But I think we can't underestimate how important this is, which we'll talk about in a moment. But let's start by talking about what focus and presence really is.
Yeah, I think this is really important. We talk about these words, but we often don't dig into what they mean. And when we talk about being focused and the power of being focused, it's really this ability to be, completely oriented and absorbed by one thing, so that we're not letting all the peripheral stuff influence us, but we're very much intentionally and carefully deciding, this is what I'm paying attention to right now. This is what's getting my time. And this is important enough to me to have that single focus.
Yeah, I think that piece of being available to take in what's being said, what's not being said. I think when we think about effective communication, and we talk about this a lot with our corporate clients, being able to not be present to what you're saying and what the other person is saying, but being present to what's going on for you physically and emotionally, perhaps what you're noticing and observing with others, and also really just energetically being able to pay attention to what's going on. And so I think this piece around being available to whatever is present in the moment, right now, right here. And often it's talked a lot about around not thinking about the future, and not thinking about the past, just being able to stay really present in the moment. And, it's something, I think it's something that we are all challenged with, whether it's in our personal lives or our professional lives. There's a million things to do every minute of every day. And the ability to stay focused and present on a task or, a person in a dialogue is definitely a challenge. We'll talk more about that later in the month. But before we do that, let's talk about why it really matters.
And I think with anything, when we're seeking to, get better at something, when we're seeking to be able to be more focused and present, it's important to understand why it matters and the impact of doing that. And, we've looked at endless scientific studies which really show that the productivity and efficiency goes way up when we are focused. Multitasking sounds like this cool thing, but actually it doesn't work at all. In fact, it actually makes us less productive. It makes us less efficient. It keeps us all over the place. It means that we're not available to all that genius, all that brilliance that can come through when we are in the slipstream of this incredible space of focus and presence. So I think the gift you give to yourself about giving yourself the time and space for this is that more ideas emerge. We have access to more intel and more data. And I think all of those things are really important in a world where, we say, we're going to solve great, problems, and we've got a lot to deal with. Giving ourselves the time to do that and allowing those ideas to come through is really important.
Yeah, I think I'm always amazed, even if I just give myself 15, 20 minutes to go for a walk on the beach, some of the ideas that drop in when I create that space. And equally, when I'm frustrated and working on something late at night, often spreadsheet related and formulas, that if I actually just put it aside for an hour and or overnight, even better, in the morning I wake up and it's, I solve it in 5 minutes. And so, just the power of space to be able to allow things to drop in is incredible. I think the second piece is all about relationships. It's very difficult to connect with someone if your mind and possibly your heart is absent in another room. And so this ability to build rapport, to build relationships, someone really does require you to be present, to really pay attention, to listen, to demonstrate all those great active listening skills, to be able to exchange. I think the piece around being present and then the transition to presence, presence is often someone experiencing, and we've all been in a room with someone, perhaps our boss, a colleague who isn't present, who isn't focused, who is either distracted, thinking about something else, or is really, I guess, absent-minded. And it's frustrating from an efficiency point of view because, you know, we're not having a great conversation. Maybe we're having to circle back because they haven't heard what we've had to say. But it's also really disrespectful. So I think I remember one of my leaders a decade or so ago shared with me a quote around the greatest gift you can give someone is your 100% attention. I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah, I think we can't underestimate the power of this in fostering and generating relationships, and also a new level of exchange once we create that space where it does feel as though we're fully seen and fully heard. I think the third piece around this that's really important is when we are focused and present, it absolutely reduces stress and anxiety. We're far less likely to go into the what if spirals. We're far less likely to be, you know, distracted and pulled into all sorts of worry and concern about things if we're really, you know, in purposefully and intentionally dedicated to this moment, to this person, to being fully with them. So I think the more that we're willing to allow ourselves the space and time for focus and presence, it really ensures that we're going to actually experience less of the things that we don't like and we don't want in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know when we're on virtual sessions with clients and workshops and, you know, for ourselves as participants, you know, trying to, you know, manage emails while I'm listening to someone who's talking to me and doing a workbook activity or something like that is so painful and stressful. We always say to our clients, give yourself the gift of just being here. Or if you need to be somewhere else for 5 or 10 minutes, go and be there and then come back and be here. Because the stress and the anxiety and the exhaustion, quite frankly, at the end of that time is just not worth it. And so I think there's lots of opportunities, particularly where we are at the start of the year, to really instill some great habits when it comes to focus and presence. We'll talk about that later on in the month. For now, if you've enjoyed today's confidence conversation, we'd love for you to share it with your network, perhaps a friend or colleague who you know would benefit. If you'd like to find out more about us at Core Confidence, like our Facebook page, lots of great videos over there that you can take a look at. And of course, if you'd like to go deeper with your relationship with Core Confidence, visit our website, coreconfidence.com.au.